This is Andreas and we're back. You remember we've just been ragging this car in the last video and we've done nothing to it yet. We just let's look at the report. It came in as it was and we decided to take it for a rag because we was really at the end of the last video, which I don't really want to make longer than 30 minutes at a time if I can help it. So we'll get this one on the ramps and get working on it and see what we can do. I might get interrupted by my grandson because he is here and you can't ignore a grandson who's 2-year-old, of course. So if he comes in and starts to want to play, it's just going to be fun and games. So this car has multiple faults on it. Rubber bushings, front steering knuckle. It says find and fix any running gear problems, so we're going to have to strip all of that off basically. Controlling car for list, so it's steering, track rod ends, all the rest of that garbage. So basically we're going to have all the wheels off it because there's no point in messing about. And we'll have all of the gear off it. When you've got a car with this much wrong with it, you might as well just continue stripping it all down because you're just gonna waste time by trying to work out, what you need to do on it. Tie rod, take everything off you can that's sort of like around that area. The other thing we could have done while we was there actually is remove these bushings. These are another part that I buy lots of generally. And I haven't got any, I don't think. And we also need to know what the condition of the car repair needs to be. So it says 42%, so anything that's over 42%. So one thing we'll do is, because we've got none and we haven't got no second-hand replacements to go in place, we will just buy, say, like, I suppose we'll use easily 5 on this car. So we'll buy 5, and if you type bush, you'll get nothing. Bush, yeah. So let's have 5 of those, and we'll have 5 of those. 6 of those then. Fair enough. 45 quid a time. You're joking? They're not that much, you know. I'm not surprised at how little they are. So we'll put these in first when we take them out because we've already got a purse on the car as it were, and it helps just to put them straight back in. Here we go with this. Yes, up. You want to come up, dear? Yeah. Okay. Well, just a minute. Let me just do this one last thing, which is while I'm in position, we have to take it out. Yeah. This. Yep. I'm coming, I'm lifting you up. Just a minute. 1, 2, 3. Take this one out. Put that one in. Yeah. We're going to look to see what the position. He said 58%. So this is why we only bought 5 of those, so that we could still see. What's this? A bit of cotton. Okay. Cotton. Right. Come up. You might find this a little bit boring though, my laddo. Right. We can't see our pictures today. As I've turned the camera off because there was a little fault on it. So we will go to the other side. I'm glad we're not touching anything on the engine per se, and we're going to take the wheel off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my grandson Tyler, who you can't see, but he likes to see us taking the car to bits, don't you? Yeah, don't you, Tyler? And can you say how old you are? Oops, a daisy. I've knocked all the stuff on the floor. That was me trying to move it. Not Mommy. Him. Dad. Can you tell me how old you are? Beep. No, don't press any. Tractor. There's no horns on this. Tractor. He thinks we're in farming simulators. Tractor. If we're in farming simulators, then we've got a horn, but we haven't got any horns in this one. So we're going to put this part back straight away while we're hovering over the place. And we'll see that it was 58%, so we'll bung that one back in because we need Oh, I keep forgetting. I've got a memory like a sieve. I really have got a memory like a sieve. It says 42%. I was going to say 47. And I'd have been wrong. So we'll go back to dismantling and we'll whip this out. Right, ready? Boss out, man, boss. And then we'll put it back in again. That's the quickest way to do these, I've discovered, and it needs a new one, so that was good that we took it out. And then we can we need to take the car up in the air now, but we'll move over to the back end and do a similar sort of job on this. We'll whip off, because we've got to do all of the running gear, which means all of the suspension parts have all got to be sorted. Have you got your jammers on then, Tyler?
Yeah.
Have you? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch.
Yeah.
Yes, that's just a bit of string, that. It's
Tim.
off my compass.
Super.
Yeah, leave it there. Leave it there, don't touch. It's not yours.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all off my compass. Leave it there. I've got a little orienteering compass, and he likes to
Tractor.
play with all these bits here.
Tractor.
I've got some of them. Tractor.
Dad.
Yeah, no, we're not playing with tractors today.
Yeah.
Watch. We're taking this bushing out of here, and then we're going to try and examine some other parts if we can. We're going to take this part out of here, and then we're going to examine as much as what's left. I'm sure that the leaf springs are going to be fine.
Pin.
We've got most of it's on the front end by the looks of it.
Pin.
Yes, just a minute. Accessible from under the car only. So we're going to leave this and go around the other side and have this wheel off as well. So now we've got all of the wheels off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, and then we'll take the drum off, and then we'll take the brake shoes off and the cylinder. And they call it a wheel cylinder, but it's actually a brake cylinder, not a wheel cylinder.
Mama. No, Dad. Mama.
Dad. Oh, you're going to Grandma now?
Yeah.
See, I told you that would be short-lived. Grandma? He's coming back to you. I have no control. He's gone. You got him? I do it like aeroplane music, because she has control, you have control. I play a bit of flight sim as well. So we'll have that one off, and we'll also have that thing off there because that looks as though it's red and rusted. And up in the air for this bit. So run around here, give it a quick tap. Let's continue at the back where we was, and then we'll do an inspection. So inspect the plates and the bits. Orange. I think we'll take this off. Inspect that. That's orange as well. So I think all of this has to come off actually, because the plates there is red as well. So dismantle. I'm glad that there's enough of it that warrants me taking it all off, because it saves time really. If you've only got one part that you don't know, and it's say like just an orange axle, you've got to take all this off to see what the condition of the part is, and you don't really know. Why isn't that coming off? Oh, see, it should have come off. That's okay, but it's got to come off because we need it off for the axle. We're going to have to take that off and that off, and then we're going to have to disconnect the, well, this is funny actually, I'm not going to disconnect the prop shaft, although you should have to, but in a previous deconstruction of a vehicle I took off the gearbox, and it came off without me having to actually take off the prop shaft. So I'm thinking that might happen here as well. And if it does, it's false, of course, because you should have to take off the prop shaft in order to get the axle off, because it's connected to it. It's another mounting point really, if you argue it like that. You know, the knee bone's connected to the arm bone type of thing. Isn't really, is it? The knee bone's connected to the leg bone and business like that, you know. So, boom. Now that should not come off, and it doesn't. Previously, it did. The prop shaft was attached to the. The prop shaft was attached to the gearbox, and yet I was able to remove the gearbox on a rear-wheel drive front-engined motor. And you have to take it off from here as well, because if you just stop taking it off, of course, it all the bolts go back in like you've never even touched it. And now this can come out, and then we will go and rebuild at the back end. We'll start. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? We'll start by trying to repair stuff. We said 40 something%, didn't we? 49, 48. That's okay. 43%. Is that okay? %. The axle's okay actually, so I'm not gonna try repairing it, or else I might end up buying a new one, and that's all we've got. So 43%. So I was a bit amazed by that. You shouldn't do that really. It's nasty that they do that to you. Assembly 43%. We won't do the pop shaft yet. We need one. No, we don't need a shock absorber. So both those are okay. We'll do this leaf spring next. They're okay. We'll do the bushings. 51%. You can have that back in. No point giving him brand new parts. Since we're here, we'll give him this. They're all okay. Yeah. $56. Let's move that out. 42%. That was one that was the one that was wrong, of course. So we have to go and get another one of these for the other side. And now we will put on a brake cylinder, a wheel cylinder as they call it. 43%. They're both okay, so we'll put the old ones back on. The brakes, shoes, they're both great. The drum is okay at that, and the wheel. It shouldn't let me put the wheel on because I haven't actually put the struts on, and you'd really need to put this plate on because it wouldn't support. So we need one of these plates. You have to take him out, love, because I'm in the middle of this. Sorry.
Granddad's recording.
Wait
until that's finished.
I'll get you in a minute. I'll come and get you. I'll be a few minutes, and then I'll come and get him. We'll go and read a story. Would you like me to come and read a story to you?
Oh, I'd like to read you a story. Let's find Monkey then. There he is, look.
So I hadn't actually planned to be reading stories tonight, but you know, it's nice that you can. Boom. Let me put this together. We need some bits. That one's okay. That can go back on. 48%. This can go back on, and that's about as far as I can go, because we need a new one of those. And a new one. No, we don't need a new one of those. That can go back on, and this can go back on. I think. Yes. That can't go back on. That's the thing. Right. So we need 2 parts at least. We need the axle that is called. We need 2 leaf spring U-bolts, a leaf spring plate, and a draft shaft. No, we don't need a draft shaft, sorry. We need a solid rear drive axle. We also need inner tie rods, 1, 2, 2 track rod ends, and 45%, 55%. The caliper's okay, the piston's okay, I've got them, so we should be okay for the parts that we can already see. So suspension, take 5 of those, and we'll take a few of those. That'll do us for the next job. Let's take a couple of those, a few of those. What else was it? An axle, solid rear axle. We'll only buy one of those, and now we can sort this out. The car price doesn't get altered at all, by the way, if you're just wondering. We currently have spent $47 on this car, okay, and even though I bought all them parts, as you saw, some of them were hundreds of pounds, we've only got $47 invested in this car. Now, unless I put something on this car like this thing, about this new part, which I can't remember how much it was. Once it's on the car, then it will bring up the price to the money we spent on the car. Hang about, well, we are out of the $47. No, it'll come up, don't worry about it. It's let's finish this side and then we'll see what we've got invested in the car. Ideally, when you would be fitting these in real life, you would fit all brand new of these. You wouldn't put them on if there was in any sort of state at all, if there was rusted in any way, shape or form, because your life depends on these 4 nuts. Because if they come off, then you've had it. Bushings, maybe it's not recording. These are the 48%, we'll have that back in there. And you wouldn't mess about with these cheapo jobs with the bushings. You'd also put brand new bushings in. So there's that. Trying to alter the angle to get the cylinder. 43% was the car's thing. 54%. You can have his old disc back, his old disc brakes back, his old hub, his old brake drum, should I say, and we can then bung the wheel back on. Those are about the quickest ways to do those types of jobs, you know, and that's basically the back end sorted out, I hope, if I haven't forgot anything. Now back to the front, back to the future. We need to whip off this. We've got some of them in our inventory. We need to assemble this to see what's wrong with it. We need to take the cap out the end, that's the first thing I forgot. Then we can take the wheel bearing out. Then we can take this off. The hub with the drive in it. The thing that's wrong on this as well is the fact that the bearing, the wheel bearing, comes out before that hub section, and that's not correct. And then generally this should come out first, and what you do is you move this top joint and the bottom one, and then this front steering knuckle comes off first, and then you take the arms off. So this bolt and the bolt on the bottom of this, then this comes off. Then you take the top arm off, and then you take the bottom half off, or the other way around, the bottom half and then the top half. Doesn't matter which. So that coming off now because it's floating is ridiculous, you know. So now if we just go back into assembly mode, since we've got everything, oh, we do have to take off actually one more thing. Well, we won't finish fixing it until we've done that. Oh, the steering knuckle needs replacing, so that's okay. We'll go back into disassembly and we'll take off the thing, and we'll just take off the front sway bar as well if we can. We'll go to the other side of the car, then we'll be able to weigh everything up all at once. Let's take the centre plug out, the wheel hub cap. Then we'll take the bearing out. The bearing should not come out until after you've taken this hub off, because you remove this and then in the end of that what's just to come off is the big wheel bearing, and you dig that out separately. So we need that off, and we need this off. We'll get to use the spring compressor now, and then we'd usually take this one off and then we'd usually take this one off at the top. I can see you can't do that in this car. You wouldn't have all the, you wouldn't leave all that top bit on like that. It just wouldn't work, because it now will all be swinging in your face. Unless you, I mean, you could do it this way, but it's not the way to do it. That's what I'm telling you. We'll take this off. I can't remember whether I replaced these or not. 42%, 49. We need 43%, don't we? And that one. Can I take this? Let me have that off first as well. The rear sway bar. The front sway bar, sorry. Looks like I've already replaced this. I can't remember. I've been off and had my tea and things like that as well, so my brain's not working very well. Not that it does any time anyway. 42, 58, we'll put that in there. We could stick the arm back. I just wanted to see the condition of it. 48%, 46%. That's okay, isn't it? So now we will need inner tie rods. We've got them. Got these parts here. We've got 47 on this. $11 on the knuckle. 11 on the knuckle. So we need new knuckles. Where's the steering rack gone? Inner tie rod. I can't see it, but we do need a new one. Oh, there it is. Steering rack is knackered. Connected. So 2 knuckles. And what about the wheel bearings? Yes, 1. You'd always replace the wheel bearings anyway. We only need 1 apparently. Steering rack, please. And the last thing would be the suspension units that we need. Can't see the steering rack. There it is. Just have one of them at that price. They're cheap enough, you see them, so you can have lots of them. I can't remember whether the plates were out. Right, let's do the top arms and the bottom arms. That's one of each there, and so that's two bottom ones but only one top one. So we've got 11, 12 and 10, but the upper arm there's okay, so for him anyway. If we'd taken them off another car and we'd already sold them, we wouldn't have them to put on, but you can often get them off and they're still 50%, so you can stick them back on his car, you see, and that's the point. So upper arm, did I say just one of them? And the bottom ones. It doesn't matter because there'll be other cars that need them, so if you get it wrong, don't worry about it, don't go selling them. Two. And hopefully that was the right way around. Yes. Let me see if I can pick that up. I said it was going to take me at least 30 minutes on this bit of the car, didn't I? And we're already at that, so we'll be probably going over. Put the steering rack in first. Then we'll put the, we might as well because it's there, tie rod in, brand new one. We're not going to put the one in that's red. New steering knuckle. Oh, steering knuckle C. We need two steering knuckle C's. Knew there was something I forgot. That's rear axle. If you're going to do a lot of the old cars, if you look out for the older cars as well, or if you look out for the newer cars, you'll always get this steering knuckle C thing. Sorry, there it is. Boom. New one of these. Ah, bottom suspension arm. So what did I buy then? Bottom suspension arm. Farty. This might be a handy thing to have the iPad. Bottom suspension arm. I'm sure I bought two of them. Obviously not. Lower suspension arm. Not the same as bottom suspension arm then. There. So I have two of them. Don't sell the ones, if you buy some by mistake, don't sell them, because you can use them on the next car. They just become stock. And after this next upgrade that you're going to get on your garage, you will soon discover that you can put all these parts in storage. So if you do buy some stuff that's you know, not 100%, 43, was it 43 on this? I'll take a look in a second. We'll just put new parts in this one, and we'll need more bearings as well. No, more rubber bushings, should I say. Now the bearing, new wheel bearing in there maybe. 58%, we'll put the old one in. The cap. The disc. You can have the 48% in there. His pads, you can have a 47. That would make him pull to the left or the right, no doubt. You can have the old 58 in there. As soon as we can get this, we'll have that in, a brand new track rod end. We've got to put the top. It shouldn't let me put all that other stuff in, you see, because generally I'm giving the 55. It shouldn't let you do all that, because you wouldn't be able to put all this other stuff on it really, all this other furniture, the brake shoes and stuff like that, if you'd not really because of the weight of all the wheel and everything else and all the parts, you wouldn't be able to stabilise it all, and you just wouldn't do it that way. So that's what I'm saying, is there's some errors on this. Oh, I could have just left that in there bush, couldn't I? What's the other parts I'm going to need? Go up to the top this time because the big parts come in at the top, and then we have a look at them. I don't want to sell it, no. But it's not telling me what the individual prices are until I go over to the wheel thingy. But we're now at 30 minutes, so I'm sorry, but we're going to leave it there, and we're going to come back in the next video where we'll take the suspension parts apart. So see you in the next video. This has been Andreas, hoping that you're going to like what you see, and if you don't like it while you're watching, so don't leave any negative comments about the way that I play or anything like that, because it's not going to do any good. Just delete and forget a chance. If you don't like it while you're watching, don't watch. Go and watch something else. But if you like it, give us a like, and obviously subscribe, and hopefully get some more notifications when I release a new video. And I will see you in the next video.